learn to speak English like a native. Join my VIP program. You can try it for $1 at effortlessenglishclub.com. effortlessenglishclub.com. Speak English powerfully. How do you speak English powerfully? Why? Why should you speak English powerfully? Well, everyone has their own reason. Some people, it's for money, right? Better jobs, better career. English opens more jobs, more careers, more business opportunities internationally. So money, job, career, business. That's one reason for some people. Another powerful reason, travel, international travel. We all know that English is the language of tourism and international travel and diplomacy and science and international business, all of these things. Some people just enjoy English language television and movies and media. They want to understand all of these things. They enjoy them. That's also fine. Some people really want to make friends internationally with people from many different countries. And it's easier just to learn English, one language, instead of trying to learn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 languages. And some people actually just need to pass an exam, such as the TOEFL exam, the IELTS exam, possibly because they want to study abroad, study in the United States or maybe in Great Britain. So lots of reasons why to speak English powerfully. But what do I mean by powerfully? I use this word a lot. You know, if you go to my website, you'll see this word, speak English powerfully. I have a course called Power English. Be a powerful English speaker. I'm using this word powerfully. Speak powerfully. Be a powerful speaker. Be a powerful communicator. I use the word a lot. Power. What do I mean by that? Why am I using this word power? Why don't I just say, fluent or something like that? Well, it's because for me, powerful English is more than just fluency. So when I talk about power or powerful English or speaking powerfully, I'm talking about 3 different things. Okay, this for the effortless English system. Powerful speaking has 3 parts. Now, part 1 is fluency, for sure, fluency. So I recently did a show about fluency, right? I did a show about being fluent in 6 months just recently. And fluency basically means that you're speaking easily, right? Not perfectly, but the words are coming out easily. You can communicate well and communicate easily. That's what fluency means. So that's part 1. But that's not enough to be a powerful speaker. What's part 2? Part 2 is confidence, a feeling of confidence. It's the opposite of nervous. It's the opposite of embarrassed. It's the opposite of worried. It means you feel strong and relaxed, both, while you speak English. So that's part 2, confident with English. So you're fluent and you're also confident. But that's still not enough. There's a third part, and that is persuasion. When I say powerful English, speak powerfully, I mean you also have good persuasion skills. You are persuasive. That's the adjective. You're persuasive. What does it mean to be persuasive? It means that you get other people to consider your ideas. You can get other people to follow actions. You can convince other people to join you doing something. You can convince other people to help you do something. You can convince or persuade or get other people to take some action. That's persuasion. Why is persuasion important? Why do I believe that persuasion must be part of your English training? Most English teachers most don't even talk about confidence. Most just talk about fluency only. Some also talk about confidence, but almost none talk about persuasion. Almost none talk about all three. And yet, all three are very, very important for your success in life, because the reasons you're learning English, right? To make more money, to have a better job, to travel, all of these reasons, you need all three of these. So why this part, persuasion, why is that so important? Well, because in life, you cannot succeed alone. We are social people, right? Humans are social. We need other people to succeed. We need other people to do more, to be more, to grow. Most of us, almost all of us, need other people to be happy. Maybe a few monks are okay completely alone, but most of us, we need other people for happiness too. For example, in business, let's say you're a business person. You want to start your own business, grow your own business, be financially independent. That sounds great. Can you do it completely alone? You cannot. I mean, even if your company is just one person, maybe you're like me, you're like a one-person company. But still, you need lots of other people. You need customers, right? You need other people. Your customers have to pay you. Without customers, you make no money. You will not be financially independent. Your business will be a big failure, right? Without other people, you have no business. And if you want to grow a really big business, you will also need employees to help you. Can't do it alone. Alone, you've got nothing. Same with family. One person is not a family, right? You need at least one more person, your husband or your wife, to be family, or a mom or a dad or a brother, whatever, right? But you need at least one other person to have a family, at least two, and usually much more than two. So for happiness, for money, for business success, for anything else, we need other people, and we need other people to help us. So how do we get other people to help us? And also, how do they get us to help them, right? Sometimes we help other people. Well, I think there are basically three ways we can do it. If we look at human interactions, human society, how do some people get other people to do things that they want them to do? Well, one is through force, strength, violence, threats, right? Basically, do this or I will hurt you. If you don't do it, I will hurt you, right? Some variation of force or violence. That's evil. That's evil. Good people don't do that. But we all know there are plenty of evil, bad people in the world who use force. We don't want to do that. We're good people. Here, Effortless English family, we're good people. So we're not going to use force. We're not going to hurt people. We're not going to beat them. We're not going to harm them, cause pain to them, to make them do something we want them to do. So, not that one. Number two, lying. We can lie to people. We can lie to people to get them to do what we want. This is also bad. This is also evil. So we don't want to do that one. And we saw, in our book club recently, Animal Farm, right? Animal Farm basically describes these two evil ways of persuasion. Force, right? The pigs use force. They use the dogs to kill other animals, to scare them so that they're forced to do what they want. They're forced to help the pigs. And also, the pigs are very, very, very good, very clever about lying. A lot of techniques of lying. Now, unfortunately, the evil, bad methods do work. They are powerful. But we don't want to use those. So what can we do? Well, the third way is persuasion. We'll call it persuasion. And this is what good people do. Right? So all persuasion is not bad. Sometimes, we were doing Animal Farm, reading Animal Farm. Maybe some of you were thinking, oh my God, just persuasion in general. Generally, it's evil, it's bad to try to get people to do something. No, it's necessary. If you don't get other people to do something, we have no society. We have to work together. So we have to have some way to communicate and convince other people to do something and to join us. And they do it to us too. They have to convince us to join them. Well, how do we do it if we're good people? We do it through persuasion. And the reason it's a good way and not evil, is that it's voluntary. It's honest and it's voluntary. So good persuasion is honest and voluntary. You're not lying and cheating them, and you're not forcing them through threatening them or pain or something, right? You're convincing them with an argument, with your skill of communication to do something. That's good persuasion, and we all need that. We need it because, other people are constantly persuading you at the same time. And again, it's not evil. This happens in families. I mean, children do this constantly with their parents. They want something, right? They want candy, let's say. You go to the store. They see some candy. Mom, Dad, can I have the candy? Can I have the candy? No, you can't have it. And then what do? They try to persuade you. They have many different methods of trying to persuade you. I'll be good. I'll do my homework. I'll clean the house. I'll take out the trash. They will try many different methods to convince you, to persuade you to buy the candy for them or to buy a toy for them. That's not evil. It's natural. That's what they should do. And of course, as a parent, you also use persuasion. And sometimes you do have to use a little force with your kids, but not to hurt them, but to protect them. That's what makes it different and why it's not evil. Is as a parent, sometimes you're bigger and stronger, but they're children. They can't make some decisions. So you do have to use force, but not to hurt them, never to hurt them. Always to protect. But also as a parent, as a skilled parent, what you mostly want to do is persuade them. Especially as they get older and their brains start, becoming more mature, more like adults, then more and more and more you're going to use persuasion. You're going to convince them that something is good for them. In business, you must do this. If you're starting your own business or you dream about starting your own business someday, being financially free, the number one skill you need is sales. You have to be able to sell. This is the number one weakness I see of most entrepreneurs. An entrepreneur, a new entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is someone who starts their own business. So the greatest weakness I see of new entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, they're good at sales. They have to be. But a lot of new entrepreneurs are not good at this. They don't learn this skill, and that's, I think, the biggest reason that their businesses fail. Is they never learn how to sell. You have to do it. Right? You have to convince people honestly, but powerfully, to try your product, to try your service. It's a necessary and powerful skill in any part of life. There's a guy named Zig Ziglar. I'm going to talk about him in a future lesson later this week. But I think this quote has two meanings from Zig Ziglar, but it can be about persuasion. He says that if you want everything you want in your life, if you want to get everything you want, all your dreams, all of your goals, then you have to help enough other people get what they want. But how do you help other people? Well, you have to persuade them. In many ways, to help another person, you have to persuade them. The best way to help somebody is not just to give them something, because they don't learn anything, right? You could find a homeless person, for example, and just give them money. Would you help them? Not really. I mean, I know. I used to be a social worker. I worked with homeless people. What they would do, probably, most of them, they would go buy drugs or alcohol. That's how they would use the money you give them. You're actually hurting them. So how could you help them? Well, if somehow, it's not easy, okay, but if somehow you could persuade them to change their life, if you could persuade them to stop using drugs, stop drinking, if you could persuade them to join some program where they could get help with an apartment, if you could persuade them to join a job training program, if you could persuade them to do these things, that would help them. That would truly help them a lot. I mean, that used to be my job, trying to do that. Now, it was not easy. It's hard to persuade them. It's hard to persuade other people, especially when they don't want help. But but it's a necessary skill. It's a skill that you need if you want to help somebody. So this can be a skill that is used for good. Of course, it can be used for evil, as we see, if you use force, if you use lies, but it can also be a very powerful force of good. So if you want success in your life, if just at your job, the more you can persuade people to try your ideas, the better success you'll have in your jobs, the more happy you'll be in your family, in all parts of life. So this is why I say persuasion is a very, very important skill. Now, in my Power English course, I focus on confidence, right? So I said again, fluency, confidence, persuasion. Power English, the course on my homepage, the main course, is really about building confidence, because that's the first step. You got to feel strong in yourself, inside yourself. If you don't have confidence, it's very hard to persuade other people. They can feel that you're afraid. They can feel that you're shy. They can feel that you're weak, and they just won't believe you. Even if you're being honest, even if you're being true, even if you're really trying to help them, even if your idea is very good, if you have no confidence, it's hard to persuade people. So confidence is the first step, which is why Power English teaches confidence. My VIP program teaches both confidence and persuasion, which is why it's really the more advanced program. So I'm teaching you English and all these, but very much teaching you techniques. I mean, this month, the VIP lesson is about a persuasion technique, a very common and very strong one, an important one, in fact. So you've got to learn this skill. In future shows, I'm going to be teaching you some persuasion skills. I'll be talking about this. It's super important for people who want to be entrepreneurs, who want to start their own business or be self-employed, be a freelancer, be free, economically free. You've got to learn to persuade. You have to do it. It's so important. This is a powerful part of communication. And to speak English powerfully, you must get this skill. When you can persuade, it's much easier to get what you want because other people help you, right? If you're doing something alone, you can only do a limited amount of work and you'll get a limited amount of success. If you have 5 people helping you, you have a much better chance of success and a much bigger success. If you have 1,000 people helping you, now you have a huge chance of success and your success in general will be much bigger. In any part of life. This is obvious, right? Teamwork. It's all about teamwork. Great coaches are good at persuading. They're not good. They're great at persuading. Great leaders are great at persuading. Great parents are great at persuading. This is a master skill. So fluency, confidence, and persuasion. These are the 3 key skills of Effortless English and the Effortless English system. These are the 3 things you must learn. These are the 3 things I will do my best to teach you. Go to effortlessenglishclub.com. Join my VIP program, effortlessenglishclub.com. Lots of love to you. I will see you next time.